जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जोर से बोलो जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपीजन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यशोदानंदन व्रजजनरंजन यमुनतीरावनचारी यमुनतीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Nittai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nittai Gaura Hari Bol. श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन यज्ञ की श्रील प्रभुपाद की ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकीनन्दनाय च नन्दगोपकुमाराय गोविन्दाय नमो नमः। नमः पङ्कजनाभाय नमः पङ्कजमालिने नमः पङ्कजनेत्राय नमस्ते पङ्कजाङ्ग्रहे। Hare Krishna. Today we will be discussing from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 8, verse number 24. Chapter is entitled as Prayers by Queen Kunti. Vishat Maha Agne Purushada Darshanat Asat Sabhaya Vanavasa Krishrataha Mridhe Mridhe Aneka Maharatha Astrataha द्रौणी अस्त्रतः च आस्मा हरे अभिरक्षिताः विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषाददर्शनात् असत्सभाया वनवासकृच्छ्रतः मृधे मृधे अनेक महारथास्त्रतो द्रौण्यस्त्रतश्चास्म हरेऽभिरक्षिताः विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषाददर्शनात् असत्सभाया वनवासकृच्छ्रतः मृधे मृधेनेकमहारथास्त्रतो द्रौण्यस्त्रतश्चास्म हरेऽभिरक्षिताः विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषाददर्शनात् असत्सभाया वनवासकृच्छ्रतः मृधे मृधे अनेकमहारथास्त्रतो द्रौण्यस्त्रतश्चास्म हरेऽभिरक्षिताः Please recite. और कोई विशान्महाग्ने पुरुषाददर्शनात् असत्सभाया वनवासकृच्छ्रतः मृधे मृधे अनेकमहारथास्त्रतो द्रौण्यस्त्रतश्चास्म हरेऽभिरक्षिता. Word to word meaning, translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki. Vishat, from poison. Maha-Agne, from the great fire. Purushada, the man-eaters. Darshanat, by combating. Asat, vicious. Sabhaya, assembly. Vanavasa, exile to the forest. Krichrataha, sufferings. Mridhe mridhe, again and again in battle. Aneka, many. Maharatha, great generals. Astrataha, weapons. Drauni, the son of Dronacharya. Astrataha, from the weapon of. Cha, and. Asma, indicating past tense. Hare, O my Lord. Abhirakshitaha, protected completely. Translation. My dear Krishna, your Lordship has protected us from a poisoned cake, from a great fire, from cannibals, from the vicious assembly, from sufferings during our exile in the forest, and from the battle where great generals fought. And now you have saved us from the weapon of Ashwatthama, purport. The list of dangerous encounters is submitted herein. Devaki was once put into difficulty by her envious brother. Otherwise, she was well. But Kunti Devi and her sons were put into one difficulty after another for years and years together. They were put into trouble by Duryodhana and his party due to the kingdom, and each and every time the sons of Kunti were saved by the Lord. Once Bhima was administered poison in a cake. Once they were put into the house made of shellac and set afire. And once Draupadi was dragged out, and attempts were made to insult her by stripping her naked in the vicious assembly of the Gurus. The Lord saved Draupadi by supplying an immeasurable length of cloth, and Duryodhana's party failed to see her naked. Similarly, when they were exiled in the forest, Bhima had to fight with the man-eater demon Hidimba Rakshasa, but the Lord saved him. So it was not finished there. After all these tribulations, there was the great battle of Kurukshetra, and Arjuna had to meet such great generals as Drona, Bhishma, and Karna, all powerful fighters. And at last, even when everything was done away with, there was the Brahmastra released by the son of Dronacharya to kill the child within the womb of Uttara. And so the Lord saved the only surviving descendant of the Kurus, Maharaja Pariksit. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Śrīmate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripabdhaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryojjvala Premadhya Shri Rupa Nuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vikrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shrimuttaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasiddhanta Dvantaharine Namo Gaura Kisharaya Sakshat Vairakyamurtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bhujayate Namaha. Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanugavarayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nityasta Sachana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannadhayate Namaha. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Namo mahabhadanyaya krishna prema pradayate krishnaya krishna chaitanya namine gauratyashe namaha. Panchatattvatmakam krishnam bhaktarupa swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhaktashaktikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Jayatam Suratau Pangur Mamamanda Matergati Vatsarvasvapadam Bhojo Radha Madana Mohano Devyadvanandaranya kalpatrumadha Śrīmad-Ratnagara Simhasanastau Śrīmad-Radha Śrīla Govinda Deva Vasthalibi Sevyamanau Smarami Śrīman Rasarasarambhe Vamshi Vadatadastitaha Kashanvenu Swaner Gopir Gopinadha Shriyastuna Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Shabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So this chapter, the prayers by Queen Kunti. So in this chapter, Kunti Devi, right from the starting of the chapter, she is glorifying the Supreme Lord. How the Lord saves his devotees. And actually, when Krishna was leaving for Dwarka from Hastinapur, and suddenly a Brahmastra comes and attacks Uttara. Uttara was running in protection of Krishna, seeking protection from Brahmastra and taking shelter of the Lord. Ashwatthama want to finish the final hair, the last in the family, the Pariksit Maharaj. He wanted to finish that also. So Lord saved, Lord entered into the womb of Uttara. What happened? So the Lord entered into the womb of Uttara and he saved the Pariksit Maharaj from Brahmastra. Brahmastra is a very powerful weapon. The one who has more power than that person can, Brahmastra, it's Brahma. Brahma is the supreme person in this planet, first living entity. He is also a soul, a demigod. He is the first person born in this universe, which sprouts from Lord Vishnu's navel. So certainly it is powerful. So one who is a creator of Brahma, he can stop that. That is Lord Vishnu. So therefore, the one name of Pariksit Maharaj is Vishnu Rat. One who is protected by Lord Vishnu, right? So Kunti starts prayers that how the Lord protected them from Brahmastra, and she is recalling all those incidents in the past. How Lord saved her, Lord saved her sons, her family from all the dangers when they were in the kingdom, when they were living in the kingdom, when the Pandavas were in the childhood, or later when they got married, or when they were sent into the forest. She is recalling all those incidents where the Lord said. Actually, if you see all these incidents in the shloka, you will find there are 4 or 5 things mentioned by Queen Kunti. Poisoned cake. Let's go to the Sanskrit words. Vishat. It's wish, poison. When the poison was given, poison cake. Bhima, in the childhood, he was given poison. They mixed poison in the food and they gave it to Bhima. And then he becomes unconscious. Then they throw him into the river. But then he goes down to the Nagaloka. So there is a route from earth to Nagaloka. We don't know, but there is a route. There is a route to heaven also. But those who are qualified, they will go. So Bhima went there and then he met Nagas there. But Nagas happened to be there. His family, same family. Grandfather, there is some relation. So then he became more powerful because there he got that elixir. It's like an energy drink, which is equal to 1,000 elephants, power of 1,000 elephants. Nagas are very powerful soldiers, team. Nagas are very powerful. So there he got elixir and he became more powerful. What Kauravas thought to kill him, but he became more powerful. So this is Lord's arrangement. So Lord Krishna did not personally saved here. But Kunti is remembering those things, understanding that these are all arrangements of the Lord. Next is Maha-Agni, which is great fire. Kauravas were always ill-hearted, especially Duryodhana, towards Pandavas. He always wanted to finish them from childhood. So the Duryodhana, he planned to kill them in a very silent way. So he appointed one person, one architect whose name was Purochana, to make one house made of lac. And lac is very highly inflammable. It burns like petrol those times. So this person makes a very nice palace made of lac. Just imagine the technology in those days. A palace was made with lac. So then Duryodhana says to Pandavas, Yudhishthira, that there is a very nice festival which is happening in Varanavrata. Varanavrata is that area. And there is also nice guest house we made. So you can attend that festival as a chief guest and you can stay in that palace. So they thought it's a good advise you should spend some time in the forest. But then Vidura, he tells Yudhishthira, be careful. He gives some instructions that this is going to be a plot on you, they're going to kill you. So then Vidura, he gives hint that like that. Then Pandavas, they go as normally, without any doubt like that they go. And they live there for 1 year. And in that 1 year, in just 6 months, Vidura, he arranges one miner. Miner means one who makes suranga. What do you call that? Tunnel. In Hindi, what do you say? Surang. He makes tunnel. From that place till the river Ganges. Makes a tunnel. In 6 months, that person makes it. And that person, Purochana, he was always planning when to kill them, when to put on fire. But every day he sees that Bhima was always in the security. He was always in the security gate. That nothing, no harm happens to his mother or brothers like that. But they know that someday the attack is going to happen. So they were already well prepared by the hints of Vidura. So then one day this catches fire. This building was put into fire, and they pre-plannedly they escape. They escape from the palace, and they go out for 1 year. 1 year they keep traveling. They wear this tree bark clothes. And then there are so many stories like how Bhima kills Bakasura. Then there Vyasadeva comes there and tells that now you should go to Drupada. There is a Swayamvara. Draupadi Swayamvara is happening. So then all of them goes there. Then they win Draupadi. Duryodhana also comes there. Then their original form, identity is revealed. Then they go to Hastinapur, ask for a land, ask for the kingdom, then which Duryodhana said he will not give. Then, they go back and they get the kingdom. They get the kingdom and they make a nice palace outside the Hastinapur. What is that? Mayasabha, Indraprastha. Then finally, Duryodhana calls for this game. What do you call it? This dice game. And they lose it and they again go to forest. In the second time, Kunti doesn't go to forest. Only 5 people go to forest. 5 Pandavas and Draupadi. Whereas in the first time, Kunti goes. And the fire, after the fire, Kunti, 5 Pandavas, they go. Draupadi was not there at that time. So if you read Mahabharata, Bhima, when they were running from that firehouse, because it is flammable item, there is a lot of fumes. It's like whole nose and whole throat is choking up. And everyone gets fainted. And it is Swaranga, no proper air. So all of them gets fainted. And Bhima is the only strong person. So he puts every one of them on their shoulders. He puts Yudhishthira, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, Kunti, everyone he puts on their shoulders and he runs and saves them. And finally they go out. Very nice description is there of that. So in that way they get saved from that fire. Then cannibals, there was, as Prabhupada writes in the purport, there was one Rakshasa whose name was Hidimba. So Pandavas, they were traveling in the forest. So this Hidimba Rakshasa was there. So Hidimba sent his sister Hidimbi to kill them because they are man-eater demons, powerful demons. So Hidimbi goes there, but she becomes attracted to Bhima. So she turns into a beautiful woman form, she takes a beautiful woman form and goes to Bhima and asks, no, you become my husband. Then, and she tells that, and she also tells that my brother had sent here to kill all of you because he's a demon. We are demons. We will eat man, humans. So then, but she falls in love with Bhima and she wants to marry. So this Hidimba comes to know and he comes running to kill Bhima. And there was a very strong fight between Bhima and Hidimba. So then Bhima finally kills Hidimba. And from Hidimbi, Bhima produces one son whose name was Ghatotkacha. So these demons, Ghatotkacha is from Hidimbi. So he would have very mystical powers. Like, demons, they have magical powers. They take different forms. They take different, they have different magical powers. So then he was supporting Pandavas in the war, in the Mahabharata war. Ghatotkacha. So that is how Bhima was saved. And then from the vicious assembly, what was the vicious assembly? The Draupadi was insulted. And she was about to be stripped naked. And finally, she was asking many people there, please save. How can this insult happen to a woman of kingly order? But no one was protecting her, no one was giving any shelter. Then finally she chanted Krishna's name. Krishna! Because Krishna why Krishna did not help her in the starting? Why only just at the end point? Why not in the starting? Because initially she was not taking shelter of Krishna. She was calling out to so many people, but not Krishna directly. So Krishna is waiting when she will call me. So then we see that unlimited amount of sari was supplied. Then Kunti says that from sufferings during our exile in the forest and from the battle where great generals fought. So even in the 12 years Aranyavasam and 1 year Ajnatavasam, all these years there were so many obstacles. They had to live in the forest. They have to meet so many demons. People were trying, the Kauravas team, they were trying to kidnap Jayadratha, tried to kidnap Draupadi once. And there was Durvasa Muni who came with thousands of his disciples to Yudhishthira for lunch, to test. Duryodhana had sent them. So there were so many obstacles, but all those obstacles, the Pandavas, they could surpass only by the mercy of Krishna, because they were always remembering Krishna. And this is one symptom of a devotee who is fully surrendered. What are the symptoms of a devotee who is fully surrendered? Anukulasya sankalpam pratikulasya varjanam rakshishyatiti vishwaso goptrutve varanam tata atmanikshepa karpanya shadvidha sharanagati. In our Gaudiya Vaishnava Sampradaya, it is mentioned in Hari Bhakti Vilas. It is said that what is the symptom of a devotee who is surrendered? Sharanagati. Anukulasya sankalpam. Accepting only what is favorable for unalloyed devotional service. That means those things or those people or those places which are helpful for me in Krishna consciousness, which will support me, which will make me to advance in bhakti. We should accept only those things. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says the first thing the devotee has to do is asat sanga tyaga e Vaishnava achar. Vaishnava means the one who gives up the asat sanga, impure association. Pratikulasya varjanam, rejecting everything unfavorable for unalloyed devotional service. Rakshishyati iti Vishnu. This is the third point which says that having faith that only Krishna is the one's protector. Having faith that only Krishna is the protector. Gotrutve varanam tata. Varanam. Accepting Krishna as one's only maintainer. Krishna is the protector. Krishna is the maintainer. Atmanikshepa. Complete submission of oneself to Krishna. Complete submission. That means manasa, vacha, karmana. Then finally, karpanya. That means feeling meek, humble, insignificant, wretched, materially destitute, etc. How many of us have these qualities? Feeling meek, humble, insignificant, wretched, materially destitute. You should have that feeling. Materially destitute means it's actually materially destitute. It means we are not having any possessions of any material objects. Because anything you have, that you will have attachment with that. Materially destitute. That's why you see the life of Goswamis. They live a life of, they are so scholarly, very highly intelligent. They come from high aristocrat families. They were ministers. So much devotion they have, but still they were living in a very, very materially destitute way. Very simple way. Not even a home, not even a hut. They would live under the trees. One day, one different tree. Every day, different tree. So that they won't get attached to a tree also. That this is my tree. So that they won't think this is my tree. Of course, that is not our situation now. Just like they used to have their tree. Now we have a locker. This is my locker. This is my bed. This is my sleeping place. So we are not on that level. So they were in the Raganuga platform. They were in the spontaneous loving devotion. You can experience that when you go in bus party. You go to different places, you stay at different dharamshalas, different rooms. Actually, that is how, completely depending on Krishna. So these are the symptoms of devotees who are fully surrendered. And we can see in all the lives of all the pure devotees, they were actually exhibiting these symptoms. And Lord wants to glorify His devotees more, so He gives such obstacles. Even we see in the life of Srila Prabhupada that he went to America with great struggle. For getting a ticket, Prabhupada has to wait outside the office of Sumati Morarji for hours and hours. And he would visit every day, right, to Sumati Murarji, for getting a ticket to America. And even while going in the ship, he has to face heart attack, seasickness, and after going there, he has to live with the hippies and he has to tolerate their troubles that they are giving. His typewriter was stolen. Someone tried to attack Prabhupada in that Bowery. So why? And then you see the life of Prabhupada. Then find afterwards what happened. He practically he became the ruler of the world in devotion. So that is how initially Krishna gives such tests so that one becomes more serious. It's a test. One becomes more. Krishna, actually pure devotees, Krishna want to glorify them. And if we are someone like our platform, it is our previous karma that we face those troubles. Or even if it is, we consider Krishna's mercy that we want to become more sincere. Krishna wants that. So that is how a devotee accepts the troubles. And you see what Kunti Maharani is saying. After this shloka, she says that I want that these troubles come again and again. How many of us really willing to have troubles again and again so that I can remember Krishna again and again? So that is the level of the pure devotees. So there was one instance how Krishna saved Arjuna in the battlefield. So once there was this person on the Kauravas side whose name was Jayadratha. So he wanted to kill Arjuna. And Arjuna also took the oath that he will kill Jayadratha. So Arjuna took the oath that I will kill Jayadratha tomorrow by sunset. Before sunset I will kill him. And if I fail to kill him, I will commit suicide. I will kill myself. Arjuna declared this. And he did not consult Krishna before saying this. And Krishna is in tension now. What will happen? I have to save my devotee now. So Jayadratha came to know that, Arjuna took the vow like this. So I will not come out only. So he was in the tent only. He was not coming out. And Arjuna is in the battlefield. This fellow is sitting inside. So then Krishna made a plan. So it was in the noon time. And Krishna covered the sun. It is like sun was covered. So that is the Supreme Lord. He can control the movement of the sun. He can control time. Because he is beyond this creation. He is beyond time. So he covered the sun. And everything it was like sunset. And Jayadratha, he thought that, now it is sunset. And he came out jumping. Now Arjuna will commit suicide. Now Arjuna will kill himself. He came out jumping. Then Krishna said that, Arjuna, kill him. Arjuna immediately shooted the arrow. But this Jayadratha was having a boon. If anyone cuts his head and the head falls on the ground, the person who killed, who attacked or who killed him, he will also die. He will blast. He will become into pieces. He will turn and he will also be killed. That was a boon he got from Lord Shiva. He did a great tapasya. So then Krishna told you kill in such a way that his head goes and falls into the lap of his father. I mean, the boon was whoever makes his head fall on the ground, he will also be killed. That was the boon. Whoever makes his head fall on the ground, he will also be, his head also will break into pieces like that. So then Arjuna shooted in such a meticulous way that the head of Jayadratha was cut and went and fell into the lap of his father, Jayadratha's father, who was meditating. He was meditating like this, and that head ball came and fell on his lap, and suddenly he opened and saw, my son, and immediately he threw it on the ground. As soon as that touched the ground, he also got blasted, went into pieces. You see how Krishna saves his devotees. In this way, he saved every one of them. Arjuna, Bhima. Bhima, how he saved Bhima, we were discussing that verse, Jarasandha. Bhima was killing Jarasandha, right? And Jarasandha was almost equal power to Bhima, 1,000 elephants power. And the fight was happening days and days, it was going on. And it is Krishna who told Bhima that you tear him into pieces and throw on the opposite side. Then Jarasandha was killed. So that is how he personally saved Bhima. And Yudhishthira, Nakula, Sahadeva, every one of them, Krishna protected them from all the dangers. And Kunti Devi, and all the family members. So it is the life of all the devotees, the Pandavas were the most, the most problems were received to the Pandavas. You see all the devotees. Again and again, in so many ways. From not one person, but many persons. Prahlad Maharaj was also into so many troubles, but that was only from his father. But in the Pandavas' case, Duryodhana was envious, Karna was envious, and the family members were not supporting. There were demons who were attacking. So in this way, they were always, in the loop of problems, troubles, dangers. So the life of Pandavas are so great. Even though there are so many problems, but they never forgot Krishna. They were always Krishna conscious. You see how, you read Mahabharata, how Yudhishthira, how he speaks. He is a man of virtues, qualities, gun. The way he speaks, the words he speaks, is so, your heart will melt when you hear those words. How sweetly, how beautifully he speaks. That's why he is Dharmaraj. He never keeps any envy. Duryodhana came to attack, kill Pandavas. There was a fight that Gandharvas, they fight with Duryodhana and they capture him. And Yudhishthira says to Arjuna, you go and free Duryodhana. Just see. Duryodhana sent them to the forest, cheated them and sent them to forest. And now Duryodhana is into the hands of Gandharvas. And now Yudhishthira is saying to Arjuna, you go and free Duryodhana because he is our family member. We have to protect him. This is the level of heart of Yudhishthira. So in this, they are all very great exalted personalities. That's why Krishna was always protecting them. There's one verse in Bhagavatam, Yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne parama purusha bhaktirutpadyate pumsam shoka moha bhayapaha. See, when someone falls into, someone becomes fearful, when he gets fear, so what he takes shelter of? Some material object or some material person. But a devotee, he takes shelter of Krishna. And a devotee actually a devotee doesn't have any fear. Because he is in the shelter of Krishna, so he always feels fearless. Why there is fear in the world? There is a fear of death. Devotee knows that there is no death. Death is also Krishna. Krishna comes as death to those who are not devotees. But the same death is an embrace for the devotees. Just like the cat, in the mouth of the cat is a death zone for the rat. But it is not the death zone for the kitten. It is a safety zone. Similarly, for the devotee, even though it is death, but it is Krishna only. So, yasyam vai shruyamanayam Krishne paramapurusha. When you hear Bhagavatam, yasyam vai shruyamanayam, by hearing Bhagavatam, you understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is Paramapurusha. Then bhaktir utpadyate pumsam, then the devotion starts. By hearing, what happens? In your heart, the devotion starts growing. Shoka, moha, bhaya, apaha. Then what happens? Three things will run away from you. Three anarthas. Shoka, lamentation. Moha, illusion. Bhaya, fear. Shoka, moha, bhaya. We are in an illusion. And with the illusion, we have a hankering. I want this, I want that. I want this, I want that. I want to enjoy. So we have this hankering. And when you get that object, then what happens? Bhaya. There is a bhaya, the fear of losing it. Any object you have, you will have a fear of losing it. Then, when the object is lost, then shoka, lamentation. Oh, I lost it. Start crying. Isn't it? So everything started with moha, maya, ignorance, illusion. So therefore, the reason for our existence in this material world is papa. You are doing papa, so you have to suffer for that. So you have to take birth again to undergo that suffering. Why you are doing papa? Because no knowledge, ajnana. There is no knowledge. That means you are in ignorance, maya, ignorance. So how to come off that? Knowledge. Where there is knowledge, there is no ignorance. Where there is sunlight, there is no darkness. Where there is Krishna, there is no maya. Knowledge, how to get that knowledge? Scriptures, Vedas, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. Who will give that? Guru. Even you read Vedas, you will not understand anything. You will sleep. You will put the book under this and sleep. You can only learn from Guru. And how will you learn from Guru? Tadviddhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshana. Guru will impart you the spiritual knowledge. When? When you are surrendered. How will you surrender? Any medicine? Take medicine, I am surrendered now. That will be very nice if there is any medicine. Take medicine and you are surrendered now. How will you develop surrender? It should come from the heart. This mood of surrender that's what we need to develop in the heart. It comes from the heart. So this mood of surrender, you have to inculcate that in the heart. It is personal. It is personal. I can see you how much you are surrendered to some extent. But I cannot see you everything what is there in your heart. Only the Guru knows. And you know how much you are, at what level you are. If you are sincere, you know at what level you are. So it is a very sincere desire that needs to be developed in the heart, the mood of surrender. So this surrender, Sharanagati, is the highest. If you go to Sri Vaishnavas, they say Prapatti is the highest. But after Prapatti, what you will do? Surrender. You have to perform devotional service. So we are already in devotional service. We are already doing sadhana bhakti. But the level of surrender is at some level. We don't know at what level, but at some level it is there. So we have to increase that level of surrender. Kayena vacha manasendriyarva buddhyatmana va prakrite svabhava karomi yatyat sakalam parasmai narayanayeti samarpayami. With the body, with the mind, and with the speech, words. One has to surrender. Intelligence also. One has to surrender fully to Lord Narayana. So this is a mood. When we hear these stories, okay, every day we are hearing Kunti Maharani saying something. She is glorifying. There are so many stories. But what is the takeaway? How much we are becoming surrendered? How much we are developing the mood of surrender towards Guru and his mission. And in ISKCON, we have such nice arrangement made by Prabhupada that you can engage in so many services. You can chant, you can play instruments, you can teach, you can do deity worship, you can do cooking, you can do book distribution, fundraising, so many things Prabhupada had given. So even at least one thing, you take it up seriously, sincerely. Take it as your life and goal. That I would like to please Prabhupada, my Guru, in this way. Whatever you do it full consciously. Vyasayatmika buddhi ekeha kurunandana. That's what Prabhupada was very inspired with this verse. And that is how he took up the instruction of his Guru Maharaj as his life and soul. Vyasayatmika, that means your focus is single pointed. Your intelligence is single pointed. So that's what we should learn from these great souls, that how much they were surrendered at every instant, in the whole life, every point of their life, how much they were surrendered. And those who are surrendered, Krishna protected them. Krishna protects his devotees, those who are surrendered. Otherwise, he will lose the fame that he did not protect his devotees. He will lose that fame. Bhakta Vatsala, he loves his devotees. Loves means care. He cares for his devotees. What is the verse in Bhagavad Gita? I will protect what they have, and I will ananyas chintayanto mam ye jana parivipasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yoga kshemam vahamyaham. So he will protect his devotees. Hare Krishna. Any questions?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, you said Draupadi, she was using her capability to save herself by taking protection from somebody else, and she did not call out Krishna. Till then, Krishna did not help. But Draupadi was a devotee from the birth. Her whole family was a devotee. So why a devotee has to call Krishna? Krishna knows everything what is happening. He should be proactively coming and helping.
So that's what Krishna, he wanted to glorify his devotees, giving them troubles. Now Pandavas are remembered even after 5,000 years. They are remembered, they are glorified because they had gone through so many obstacles, so many problems, troubles, but they never gave up Krishna. Why a devotee has to face trouble? Krishna should protect. Before the trouble comes only, he should stop the trouble. But when the trouble comes, how the devotee is responding to that is actually a lesson to the next generation of all the devotees.
It's a lila.
Now Draupadi chanted Krishna. Now how, it is actually a demonstration, an example how you have to surrender to Krishna. Otherwise, how we will learn? So all those characters which are mentioned in scriptures, they are very special souls. Even in Bhagavatam, don't misunderstand, some like Saubari Muni. There is some character, Saubari Muni. He was doing tapasya, but he fell down. He came out, he married, and then finally he realized that this is all nonsense. So, seeing his story, one should not misunderstand him. That fall down. Even to pick up that character and put in Bhagavatam and tell to lakhs and crores of people through Bhagavatam is actually a very special soul. So all those characters which are mentioned in the Bhagavatam are very special. Bhagavatam or scriptures, Mahabharata, Ramayana, whatever. So they are very special souls through which Krishna wanted to teach to countless millions and lakhs and crores of living entities who are struggling in this material world, to teach them. And we as a very insignificant devotees, we need not face such big troubles. And Krishna will never put also in that. He knows what is our level of surrender. He will only give trouble how much you can tolerate. Actually, when you are in trouble, you will remember Krishna more. If you are really sincere, you will become more intense. Your devotion becomes more intense, solidified when you are in trouble. If you are really sincere, it's a test, and that will make you more strong. Then you will not be attracted to any material comforts or maya, because you pass the test. Anything else? Yeah.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, how does actually death come for a devotee? Like, do they also get the same thing and they
You need
tolerate?
not wait for that, it will come automatically. You just do what is prescribed to you, it will come automatically. You just be sincere what you are doing. It will come. What you are doing, do sincerely. You are chanting, do sincere chanting. You are reading, be sincere. No hypocrisy, no cheating. Whatever you do, put your heart. Do it. Put your heart, sincerely do it. That's what devotion means. Devotion means putting your heart. Your body is here, mind is somewhere. Join both. Whatever you do, join both. For the pleasure of Krishna, that is very high. Forget about that. That will come after many stages. But sadhana bhakti means do, duty. You are told to do this, you do this. Like today we were reading something, no, in the quote, Navamrit quote. The medicine, it works even though you don't know how it works. Similarly, chanting is like that. You chant. How it works you don't know, but you just chant. And a time will come. A test will come. If you are sincere, then Krishna will, he will give you that intelligence to choose only him. So, but you have to be sincere for that. Hare Krishna. Kunti, she was in the palace, Hastinapuram. She didn't go in the Aranyavas. Yes, Prabhu. How to increase? Surrender to? How to increase surrender? So, Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakyam, Atmanivedanam. We know this verse, but after this there is one more verse. Iti pumsarpita Vishnu, bhaktis chet navalakshanat, kriyete bhagavatyatha, tanmanye dhitam uttamam. All these 9 activities of devotional service, doing all these 9 types of devotional service for Bhagavatatyam, for the pleasure of the Lord. Iti pumsarpita Vishnu kriyete Bhagavatyadya tanmanye dhitam. The best thing is that we have to do these things for the satisfaction, for the pleasure of the Lord. So, we are doing all these things, but you know yourself how much you are, like you are chanting, how much you are focused, you know. We don't know what is there in your mind. The side person don't know what is happening in your mind. You know. So devotion is, it is between you and Krishna. So you know Krishna know, and the Guru knows. So how much your quality, that's quality, how much qualitatively you are doing it, you know it. So if you know that you are not chanting sincerely, your mind is going here and there, that means you have to again focus it, do it more sincerely. In the day you have 12 hours or 15 hours. So how much time what time you are doing what? You just make a notes of it. Today what I have done, 9 to 10 what I have done, 10 to 11 what I have done. I slept, or I did some chit-chatting, or I did some browsing internet, or I just wasted some time like that. You know yourself. So be sincere to yourself. What is surrender? Surrender means your body, your mind and your speech. Engaging that in Krishna's service. That is what surrender means. That's what do you have? You have a body. What do you have? You have a body. You have a mind. You have a power of speech. You have intelligence. So with this body and their corollaries, whatever you have, how much you are serving Krishna? In a day, 24 hours. You are doing 100% or 90% or 80%. So you have to check, you have to analyze that. If you are doing less, then you have to do it more. There are so many books of Prabhupada. How many you read? How many shlokas you memorized? Prabhupada lectures are there. How many you heard? Prabhupada letters are there. How many you read? Actually, to do that, we should have some taste. So we have to develop that taste. How the taste comes? When you keep doing it, you will get the taste. There is a verse in Telugu. There is a poem, very nice poem. Tinaga tinaga vemu tiyyanundu. How is that? Anaga nanaga raga matishilluchunundu. Tinaga tinaga vemu tiyyanundu. Sadhanamuna panulu samakuru dharalona vishwadabhi rama vinuravema. It's a great poet in Telugu, Vemana. He says that anaga nanaga raga matishilluchunundu. If someone says, I don't know how to sing, I can't get the tunes, it doesn't match with the kartal, mridanga. So you have to practice. You keep practice. Anaga nanaga. You just keep singing, you will become a singer one day. Tinaga tinaga vemu tiyyanundu. Neem is very bitter. You just put a little leaf, you put so bitter. But you eat every day one leaf, just close your eyes and eat. It will become like halwa after 1 week. It will become halwa. You can make neem halwa also. Without sugar. Sadhanamuna panulu samakuru dharalona. You keep doing activity, you will become perfect in that. First you will do some mistakes, then you will understand what mistakes you have done, then you will try to rectify it, then second time you will do less mistakes, then slowly you will become perfection in that. You know, when you do first starting puja in the choice, when you do arti, bell goes like this and arti also goes like this. 2 hands goes like this. It is very difficult to ring bell like this and do arti like this. Outside, a new person cannot do that. So how it happens? By practice. Vishwadabhi Rama Vinuravema. So, Vinuravema. So you have to practice it. How a cricketer becomes great cricketer? How even a Sachin Tendulkar, he may be a great batsman, but still he practices in the court. That net will be there, no? The more he practices in that, the more he can perform. See, it is very practical. What you have to do is very practical. It is not something above the ground. It is on the ground, which you have to do it practically. It's very practical. Krishna consciousness is very practical. When you know how the diamond becomes very shiny, initially it is very crude, but it is undergone lot of, it was put into fire and this, that, so much of rubbing, this, that, finally it becomes shiny. Like that. So we all have to become like diamond, shining diamond. Every devotee should become like a diamond. That is perfection. So we have to get that perfection. Hare Krishna. Grantha Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki, Nitai Gaura Premanande.